Hi lads and lasses, Modest Pelican here with Call of Duty Cold War. If you enjoy this video, please clap your cheeks in Morse code and say subscribe to Modest Pelican Gaming, as this really helps spread the good word of my channel. A new year, a new COD game, but this time they're pushing the boundaries of gaming technology. This year's edition will take up literally all the storage space you have available. They're going to aim for updates to be at least 1000 gigabytes each for no obvious reason, which truly is the next gen experience. You may have to delete all your other games, but you'll be getting the 3 expected modes. Multiplayer, where you can drop shot for Jesus while people abuse you between games. Zombies, which is good clean fun, and of course the single player campaign, which we're going to have a look at now. So of course, as this is a COD game, the Americans are going to be slapping around a country that isn't one of Activision's biggest consumers. Smart and fun. More importantly, the fans have got what we always asked for. A deep, intricate role-playing game experience where you can design a custom character. I made my protagonist an ex-KGB paranoid Asian man with violent tendencies who goes by the name of D's Nuts. Call me immature, but I'll never get sick of seeing the name D's Nuts being redacted from the operation brief. The Cold War is always an interesting setting, especially when the Dutch girls look this good. This truly is next gen. I'm so glad I got the new console in time. Honestly, the single player campaigns have always been a guilty pleasure of mine. I think it's because it's designed around the core belief that gamers have short attention spans and need constant stimulation, which is accurate. You'll be doing almost exactly what you'd expect, but sometimes unloading a weapon is a healthy way to express your emotions. Of course, strictly in video games. I won't spoil too much, but there's all the classic COD moments you'd expect. For example, the obligatory high-speed chase down an implausibly long runway. What do you mean a remote-controlled car wouldn't be as fast as a plane? That's perfectly realistic, read a book. This time you also get to make hard decisions, like when interrogating someone, you can choose if they live or die. Naturally, I picked the die option every single time because I want you guys to think I'm cool. There's even some side objectives. Some lass asked if I could please save her friend, so I tried to do the right thing, but got a little carried away with the MP5 and he was caught in the crossfire. It would be so sad if he wasn't German. The maps have a lot of detail, and a big thanks to Treyarch for including a special Modest Pelican Easter egg. On the board here, if you look closely, it says like the video and subscribe to Peli, so that was really cool of them. You know in James Bond movies how the country changes every 5 minutes or so? Well, this has a lot of that. My favourite is when I got to visit Vietnam, as it gave me nostalgia from when I used to play this game called Men of Valor.
Have you seen any action yet?
Action? Hell, 2 days ago I got my ass bitten off by fire ants. Other than that, no.
Damn, that game was good, and basically today's standard of next gen. Anyway, this Vietnam section offers some truly wholesome gameplay experiences, such as climbing into a Huey and using the mounted machine guns to rain bullets down onto the poorly armed local population, or piloting a Huey and using the machine guns and missiles to obliterate the confined villagers whose residents have no hope of ever retaliating. Or flying around in a Huey, decimating the resistance with so much firepower that there'll be no chance of successfully identifying any of the bodies. Also napalm, and if burning people alive doesn't make you feel like an alpha male, I'm not sure what will. I also enjoyed some of the mandatory stealth sections. I had to infiltrate an apartment with a tranquilizer gun, and I had the option of either evading the family or taking them down. I decided it was better to be safe than sorry, and I put my trigger finger to use and shot 16 tranq darts into the target's wife. I'm a real one though, and so after I pumped her with enough chemicals to sedate a Borneo elephant, I lay her on the couch to nap. I love how there's always so much importance on how we must all be stealthy in these games, but inevitably every mission turns into an insane gunfight. In fact, it's weird when more than 3 minutes have passed and you haven't lit up a dozen foreigners. In conclusion, it's about 4 hours of the most stereotypical Call of Duty you'll ever play, but it has a really good story and I enjoyed it a lot. Plus, there was a whole communist section, which is an ongoing meme here at Modest Pelican Gaming, so that's like plus 100 points. And now let's talk about the multiplayer. You've got all the classic guns and kill streaks and the best gameplay experience 2014 has to offer. I mean 2020, I mean this game is next gen. It's as satisfying as ever firing a cruise missile down from the heavens and getting a massive multi-kill or winning a close game of free-for-all. The gunplay is tight as always, and yeah, the nostalgia alone would probably have me playing this a lot if it wasn't for the skill-based matchmaking. You'll play a few games and pretty soon the algorithm will determine your skill level and match you with people who are the exact same skill as you. As far as I can tell, the goal is to make sure everyone has a kill-death ratio of 1, like it was a big old participation ribbon. So of course people want to do better, so they use the meta guns, and head glitch, and camp their little peenies off, and shell Vatterroll, and suddenly what was meant to be a social game of team deathmatch turns into Call of Duty goddamn esports. I had to pull out all my little tricks just to get my kill streaks out. Suddenly I'm drop shotting and being a head glitching malacca. The sweat was real, I had to hydrate at double speed. If only there was some way of having a ranked and a social playlist so that you could chill or sweat depending on your mood and be rewarded for winning ranked games. I guess that would almost be impossible to implement though. Like besides Rainbow Six Siege, Halo, Rocket League, Overwatch, Dota, Splitgate, Counter-Strike, Rogue Company, and insert many other examples here, no one else has managed to do it. Seriously, at one point, we were versing absolute epic gamers. The boys and I had a good laugh at this guy as we couldn't actually tell if he was aimbotting or not. We ended up playing him quite a bit, and it turned out it wasn't hacks, he was just COD Jesus. Look at this play of the game, he literally didn't miss one bullet as he snapped onto everyone like the goddamn Terminator. It's funny because I used to suck at Call of Duty. Some would say I still do, and you know what, that's more than fair. Back in the day though, I really sucked. I remember finishing school one day and my mate invited me over to play this new game he had, Modern Warfare 2. A game that allowed you to take the horrific aspects of war and turn it into a fun-filled afternoon, what a treat. I used to put a thermal scope on and lie at the back of the map with my Barrett 50 cal, basically acting like it was a real war. Sure, I got slapped by people running around with SMGs and I barely ever went positive, but I still had fun because I was getting better and progressing. When I finally realized that perhaps I should stop lying on the ground like a chloroform victim and move around, it was revolutionary. I remember my first ever major flank as I killed 5 people and got a Predator missile. I remember getting my first AC-130 and finally a tactical nuke, it was amazing. This game had taken a truly devastating war tool and turned it into my favourite hobby, dropping nuclear weapons on hormonal teens. I know maybe this won't go down well, but something has changed with COD multiplayer for me and it just isn't the same as it was. Sure, playing sweaty ranked matches is really fun sometimes, but when it's every game it just gets a bit tiresome. That being said, when you do string a few kills together and get yourself a VTOL warship and absolutely annihilate a bunch of dudes with TTV in their name, it's amazingly satisfying because you know they came here to game. Have you guys ever heard of the happy sandwich technique? Basically, you say something good first, then you deliver the bad news in the middle, and finally finish with something positive. This way, the negative point is cushioned by the happy bread. For example, if you wanted to tell someone their parents had died in a car accident, you'd say, "Hey man, what a lovely sunny day. Your parents were crushed by a truck. I really like your sweater." That way, he'd be feeling so good about the weather and his outfit, he'd almost forget about the whole parents thing. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to do with this video, and it brings us to the final part of the game, zombies. There's just something so satisfying about mowing down the undead, and I think they've done a great job here. I still just love the way it plays out. The classic punching of the first few waves to maximize cash, you've then got to open the doors and buy perks, and the whole process is just chill. Some people do yoga, some people scream at traffic, but I get hordes of zombies to chase me around in circles so I can line them up and shoot them all in the head at once. I didn't watch any reviews or videos on this game because I don't like to taint my opinion in any way, but I feel like both old players and new players will enjoy zombies a lot. It feels both simple and intricate, but not too intricate that you don't know what the f is going on. I got crazy lucky with the weapon crate and managed to land a ray gun on my 4th or 5th spin, which I can't imagine will do wonders for my dormant gambling addiction. Unfortunately, I got it on my very first match that I had joined late and I died almost straight away, which was pretty amateur, but at least I tried. Somehow in my first proper game, I followed it up with this super cannon from the mystery box that sucks the souls out of zombies and then you fire them back at the horde, killing everyone. I just made that up, I have no idea how this weapon works, but it's pretty cool. There's only one map, but it's really good. There's some puzzle you need to solve, but honestly I didn't know what we were doing. We were just running around pressing buttons and hoping for the best. I'll explore that more with the lads later, but you go to the upside down, kind of like Stranger Things. The cycle of packer-punching weapons and then trying them out just doesn't get old, but I haven't yet focused on the beating heart of the zombies community. There's something far more special than seeing how high you can get in the waves or bonding with friends, and I think we all know exactly what that is. Getting into glitch spots, because exploiting oversights in map design is what this is all about. Obviously this will get patched, but one of my mates went up into the roof and I'd lead the zombie horde past him so he could destroy them all from above. Kind of like when you're flying a Huey in Vietnam, I guess. In conclusion, I'd hit, but I wouldn't marry. I'd hit for a while too, like we'd be getting breakfast together and hanging out, but we both know it was never a long-term thing. It'd be like 3 months on and off, and then we'd probably start ghosting each other, but reflect back on the premarital relations we'd had with fondness. We'd go our separate ways, get married and have kids, but run into each other years later. We'd try and have a sneaky bang in the disabled bathroom, but my wife would catch us and she'd keep the kids. That's my official rating. I'm also really interested to see how they integrate Cold War with Warzone, but yeah, kind of a different style of video today, but I wanted to make some content on this. I hope you're all doing well. Thanks for watching, you absolute legends. Until next time, and as always, stay classy.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh, baby, it's triple!